Ancient armies didn't just rely on swords and spears. Many kinds of animals have helped ancient civilizations in warfare. Due to their unique abilities, they became invaluable on the battlefield. In this video, we will go over the deadliest animals that aided armies in combat. I'll start with the bad and work our way to the truly terrifying. Number 5. Elephants. The giants of the animal kingdom were a force to be reckoned with on ancient battlefield. Known for their immense size and strength, war elephants were used by armies in India, Persia, and even by the famous Carthaginian general Hannibal during his march across the Alps. The use of elephants in battles dates back to the 4th century BCE. In India, the mighty Chandragupta Maurya employed these colossal animals to form an imposing war machine. Their ability to trample enemy lines, carry heavy armor, and transport soldiers made them invaluable. War elephants were not just brute force, they were strategically significant. Their towering presence could break enemy morale. Equipped with armor and sometimes carrying archers, they served as moving fortresses. The sight of these massive creatures charging could turn the tide of battle. One of the most famous instances of elephants in battle was during the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BCE, where Alexander the Great faced Darius III of Persia. The Persians employed elephants to intimidate Alexander's forces. Although the Macedonian phalanx prevailed, the psychological impact of the elephants was undeniable. However, elephants were not invincible. They could be unpredictable and hard to control. In the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE, the Roman general Scipio Africanus used clever tactics to neutralize Hannibal's elephants, leading to a decisive victory. Number 4. War pigs. War pigs played a surprisingly significant role in ancient warfare. These animals were used for their unique ability to scare off war elephants, creating chaos in enemy ranks. The use of pigs in battle is recorded as early as 275 BCE. The Roman writer Pliny the Elder noted that pigs were used to counter the fearsome war elephants of the enemy. The high-pitched squeals of pigs could panic elephants, causing them to trample their own troops in a desperate attempt to flee. War pigs were effective not for their physical prowess, but for their psychological impact. The combination of fire and the natural behavior of pigs to turn wildly could disrupt enemy formations. This tactic was particularly useful when facing heavily armored war elephants that were otherwise difficult to combat. The sound and sight of a group of pigs running, especially when satellite, terrify and confuse war elephants. This was a tactic born out of necessity, showcasing human ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. The psychological warfare aspect cannot be understated. Ancient armies were often deeply superstitious, and the sight of animals seemingly possessed by fire could cause panic and disorder far beyond the actual physical threat posed by the pigs themselves. One notable instance was during the siege of Megara in 266 BCE, where the Megarians used flaming pigs to frighten the elephants of Antigonus II Gonatas. The resulting chaos allowed the Megarians to defend their city effectively. In another case, Roman forces used war pigs to counter Pyrrhus of Epirus' war elephants. The flaming pigs caused the elephants to panic and trampled their own troops, demonstrating the unexpected effectiveness of such an unusual tactic. Even during the later stages of the Roman Empire, such tactics were remembered and occasionally employed, showcasing the long-lasting impact of innovative strategies on military history. However, despite their utility, the use of pigs in warfare was fraught with difficulties. Handling and igniting pigs in the heat of battle was risky and could backfire. Moreover, the tactic relied heavily on the presence of enemy elephants, limiting its general applicability. Additionally, the use of live animals in such a manner raised ethical concerns and practical challenges. The effectiveness of war pigs was highly situational, and as warfare evolved, more reliable and humane methods were developed. Number 3. Snakes. Snakes, often associated with fear and danger, have also been used in ancient warfare. These slithering creatures were employed for their ability to surprise and terrify enemy troops, adding an unusual but effective weapon to the arsenal of ancient armies. The use of snakes in warfare can be traced back to various ancient cultures. One of the most famous accounts is from the Roman Empire, where the general Hannibal Barca used snakes in naval warfare against the forces of King Eumenes II of Pergamon around 184 BCE. Hannibal, known for his innovative military strategies, ordered his soldiers to fill clay pots with venomous snakes and hurl them onto the decks of enemy ships. The primary advantage of using snakes was psychological. The sudden appearance of venomous snakes could cause panic and chaos among enemy soldiers. Many soldiers, not expecting such an attack, would lose their composure, leading to disorganization and a weakening of their defensive lines. Snakes could be particularly effective in close quarters, such as in ships or fortresses where there was little room to escape. The fear of being bitten, combined with the actual threat posed by venomous species, made snakes a unique and terrifying weapon. Hannibal's use of snakes in naval warfare is one of the most documented instances. During the battle, the sight of snakes slithering across the decks of ships caused such fear and confusion that it significantly disrupted the enemy's ability to fight effectively. This tactic proved successful in turning the tide of the battle in Hannibal's favor. Another notable instance is the defense of certain fortresses, where snakes were reportedly released into tunnels and passageways used by besieging forces. The sudden appearance of these creatures could deter or slow down the enemy's advance, buying precious time for the defenders. Even during the later stages of the Roman Empire, such tactics were remembered and occasionally employed, showcasing the long-lasting impact of innovative strategies on military history. However, using snakes in warfare came with significant risks. Handling and transporting venomous snakes was dangerous for the soldiers tasked with deploying them. There was also the risk of snakes turning on their handlers or escaping, posing a threat to friendly forces. Furthermore, the effectiveness of using snakes was highly situational. They were most effective in enclosed or surprise attack scenarios, and less useful in open field battles where their impact could be minimized. Number 2. War bees. These tiny warriors were used in ancient biological warfare, proving that size doesn't matter when it comes to innovation in battle. Ancient civilizations like the Romans and Greeks used beehives as a weapon. Hurling hives into enemy ranks created chaos and panic as soldiers were stung and distracted. The use of bees in warfare is a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient military strategies. The element of surprise and the painful, often debilitating stings made bees effective in disrupting enemy formations. Beehives could be launched into enemy positions using catapults or trebuchets. The swarms of angry bees that emerged would sting soldiers, horses, and other animals, causing panic and confusion. Bee stings were not just painful, they could incapacitate and even kill if enough stings were received. The psychological impact of dealing with an unexpected swarm of bees in the midst of battle was substantial, often leading to a breakdown in enemy morale and organization. During the Roman siege of the Miscera, defenders used beehives to repel invaders. The confusion and pain caused by the bees helped to delay the Roman advance, showcasing the defensive power of these small but mighty creatures. Another instance was recorded during the Wars of the Crusades, where bees were used to defend fortresses and castles. Hives were placed in strategic locations and could be dropped on attacking forces, causing chaos and giving defenders a significant advantage. Using bees was a double-edged sword. Handling them was risky, and there was always a chance they could turn on the users. Deploying bees required careful planning and precise timing to ensure they affected the enemy rather than friendly forces. The effectiveness of bees was limited by weather conditions and the availability of beehives. In cold or rainy weather, bees would be less active and less effective as a weapon. As warfare evolved and new technologies emerged, the use of bees in battle became less practical and eventually faded. Number 1. Rhinos. Rhinos, with their sheer size and formidable horns, were occasionally used in ancient warfare. These powerful animals, though less common on the battlefield compared to elephants, provided a unique advantage due to their strength and ability to cause significant damage. The use of rhinos in battle is documented in ancient Indian texts and some African cultures. Rhinos were prized for their aggressive nature and thick skin, which made them difficult to injure. Their potential to charge at enemies with devastating force made them a valuable asset in specific military contexts. Rhinos were primarily used for their brute force and ability to disrupt enemy formations. Their charge could break through lines of infantry and cavalry, causing chaos and inflicting serious injuries. The sight of a charging rhino with its massive horn and powerful body could terrify soldiers and horses alike. The thick skin of rhinos provided them with natural armor, making them resistant to arrows and spears. This resilience, combined with their aggressive behavior, made them formidable opponents on the battlefield. One notable reference to war rhinos is found in ancient Indian texts, where they were used by certain kings and warriors. Though not as widely documented as elephants, these accounts suggest that rhinos were occasionally employed in battle for their unique combat capabilities. In some African cultures, rhinos were used in a more symbolic capacity. They represented strength and power, and their presence in military processions or as part of the army's assets was meant to intimidate enemies and showcase the might of the ruler. Despite their strength, rhinos presented significant challenges in warfare. Their unpredictable nature made them difficult to control. Unlike elephants, which could be trained to follow commands, rhinos were less manageable, posing risks to both enemy and friendly forces. Handling rhinos was dangerous, and the logistics of transporting and deploying such large animals were complex. As a result, their use in battle was limited and eventually faded as more practical and reliable methods of warfare were developed. Moreover, the decline of large wild rhino populations due to hunting and habitat loss reduced their availability for military purposes. The increasing effectiveness of weapons and the development of more strategic military tactics also contributed to the decline of using rhinos in warfare. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.